1798. Wow. I remember 1701. 1701, I said, we will reach 1800 one day. I remember that. I remember that day. I remember that thought. Yeah, I remember it very clearly. Very clearly. Ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum-dum-dum. Hello, people. I'm interested to see what you're doing with this title. So, I mean, it's a long and big discussion, but sometimes I have to work on it, and it's not that I don't like working on it, right? But just a second. I'm not seeing anyone. Nice. No, just because this should have been on the other screen. Okay. Hello everyone. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to another stream of Plane Shift. Oh yeah. There is a picture of the day. I think this one was yesterday. No, it's the same. Did you get your tattoo, by the way, or not? I don't know if you got your tattoo, but you can get a tattoo in game now. So switch the music. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, the number of followers, 929, is standing there since probably a month. But anyway. Hello, Ula. Hello, Marcelo. Hi. Hello. Hello, Ned. My guitar teacher likes to look at his watch and think what happened that year. 2051. Ah, in that sense. I see. It's not a, it's a nice idea actually. Because every hour is always a time, no? Well, you can go pretty far in the future though. But yeah, or pretty back in the past. But yeah, it's kind of interesting trick. So, what do we do? I think we had already a number of ideas on this, right? A number of iterations on this, but I mean, it's some time I don't do it. So let me go back and see if you already have some missions written down with the loot. Let me see. Loot. I'm searching loot in all our mission. We have an Unreal mission lootable furniture, which is the one that we did for the dungeons, which was this one, right? Searchable furniture in procedural dungeon, right? This thing. Oh, the shelf. I didn't think about it. I mean, I have it in the picture, but I didn't put it in game. Yeah, because he will put a barrel on the wall, so it needs to be separated in terms of yeah, but in theory it's a good idea. So we had that, And then we had what? Dynamic loot. Dynamic loot. Auto spawn a container with an item inside of it. Example, a torch to generate a yeah, that we did actually. That we did with the random normal dynamic loot. Yeah. Then we have okay. There is nothing else. There is nothing else in terms of missions. There was actually the value of everything, which was a reasoning on how much things should cost, and right, the value of everything was but no, there is no. The other thing is here we describe in our wiki how you can get loot, right? So you can get loot through a number of methods. Through quest, we have the possibility to reward player money or items. Harvesting, loot items from hunt locations and natural resources. Special chest declared as consumable, and there is the list. Ardent crate, adorned crate, sturdy chest, metal chest, reinforced chest, white chest, ancient chest, jewel chest. Killing creatures will allow players to loot the creature. Buying from merchants. Generated events. And main loot and loot furniture and furniture loot in generated dungeons. So these are all the places where you can actually get loot in the game. I mean, plus in theory also trading with another player, right? But I would say that is probably yeah. So I have a table that I cannot really show you because it's too much of a spoiler, but I have a table where I have listed all the items that are lootable and where they are lootable. But actually, I think that I'm looking at this table on my other screen, right? So how do I think that the only way for me to do it is to do this. I go in game, I open the item window, I check every item, and then we check if it exists in the randomized table or not, right? And I already know that certain parts of loot are not. You know what is the only problem is that we are not catching at the moment. We're not catching at the moment the quest with this report. We are not catching the quest. So it may be a partial list, right? Drop rates on getting something named from the chest, such as wide and metal, is super low in my experience, as the loot table seems too big. Yeah, that is something that I think I need to test again, right? Because I think that I think it's not supposed to be that way, and I don't understand why it is that way, right? So, or at least, yeah, people reported that it's hard to get randomized loot from chests, right? But if I look at the loot rules, right, they're not that bad. So why? Baldur's Gate, huh? So we have a loot manager. There is a loot randomizer. Yeah, loot randomizer, right? So loot randomizer is the class that is basically generating all the loot. And there is one thing that I want to check, which is the random percentage, right? The random percentage. So this random percentage is the random percentage is inside loot rules detail. Loot rules detail. And the random percentage, is it the probability or is the randomized probability? Is the randomized probability. So a randomized probability of 1, does it mean 1% or does it mean 100%? Because that is the thing, right? Randomized probability. Is there a description of this? The probability that if the item was picked, it will be randomized 0 to 1, right? Okay, so 1 is 100% chance, right? So when people say that it is hard to find randomized loot, it seems kind of strange. Is the time chest respawn different per type of chest? Yes, it can be by... yeah, it can be. Now, if it's applied everywhere, I don't know, but yes. Is there any purchasable loot boxes from traders, jokers, and bandits? No, but you can... I mean, you don't purchase the loot box, but you purchase the items. But none of those items that you buy from merchants are actually... having random modifiers, right? So what makes the loot good is because they have random modifiers. That's the way it makes it good. Randomized probability. So randomized probability. Randomized probability. Roll mod probability. Yeah, it is a 0-1 randomization. Yes. I don't understand too much, right? So is 100% chance to get a randomized item? Well, wait. It is 100% chance to get a randomized item, but then the randomizer randomizes, and it may randomize an item without modifiers, right? So in reality, it's not really true that it's 100%, right? Because the randomized item is applying some reasoning to decide. Yeah, exactly. So there is a 70% chance that he has no modifiers, and he has a 30%, so is a 22% chance that he has one modifier, 7% chance that he has 2 modifiers, and 1% chance only that he has 3 modifiers, right? And by the way, some of these modifiers can also be bad ones, right? So this is the real table, right? That is the real table. After the probability, but as I said, the probability is always 1. It's always 1 in all the loot tables. So for example, if you take an expert gladiator, if you take an expert gladiator, right? Oh fuck, I messed up the name. Oh no, I'm taking only the first one. Okay, if you take an expert gladiator, right? This guy, this girl. Hello, you're gonna die. So if you take this, right, and we kill him, right? I'm lazy, so I'm killing him this way. You kill your first enemy. Fantastic. Yeah, first of all, the looting is so annoying. I know about that. The potion of healing. That was very unfortunate, because in theory we had a 20%. Oh wow, that was very unfortunate. That was very unfortunate. She's back. No. So we got a longsword and a short sword, but both of them hit the 70% of no randomization. Why is she still breathing while she's dead? What the fuck just happened? Okay, now she's dead. We're still moving. It's kind of weird. So you get, so you need to hit the, oh wow, 0, because you know the loot table of this guy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. He has 6 items, and every item can be there, right? 6 items, and we are rolling a dice, and basically all of them have 20% chance to be there. So 0 loot means that we rolled 6 times a dice, and all those times we got more than 20 on from 0 to 100, right? Which is very weird, but anyway, that's what it is. Okay, this seems more reasonable, right? So I get on average I should get 3 items. That should be the average, and 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3 should be randomized. Should have at least 1 modifier, right? Should have at least 1 modifier. We are definitely below stats here. Oh, we are definitely below stats. I'm wondering if there is something, right? There is no working as expected. Oh wow. So considering that he's rolling 6 items. 6 items at 20%. Wow. 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 6 items at 20%. We got our first randomized item. Which is this polished round shield. It needs to be identified by the way. Anyway. I don't know, it seems to be statistically lower than what it should be, no? It's very strange, actually. I can check the code again. Like, how do we get 1 item on average out of 6? Well, actually, it is correct, sorry, because it's no. So if I have 6 items at 0.20, yes, on average I get 1 point something item, not 3. True. True. Sorry, my math was wrong. My math was wrong. Your extra stuff is the names. Is there at the loot table a chance to get an extra item? I'm doing this video gets horrible loot. No, I think it's... I disagree with that. In some chests you don't get the item every time. Yeah, I mean there is a table, right? I mean if you want I can show it to you. I mean it's not a super secret. I guess that you guys already figured it out, I guess. If not, it's fine. I will show it to you and then you will forget it, okay? You will forget it. Wow, why so small? Why so small? Why so big? Okay, so there is the expert gladiator, right? So there is additional stuff on the right, but you don't care about, you don't need it. So he has 35% probability to drop a potion of healing. And then he has 20% probability to drop any of these items, but each one is randomized. Each one is tested, right? So he's rolling a dice for each. So he's basically rolling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice in theory, right? At least I hope so. I don't think he's rolling 1 dice only and then deciding how many. No. He's rolling 1 dice for each. I'm pretty sure of that. Right? So you get 1 item guaranteed because it's more than 1. The total is more than 1. But yes, the average is probably 2 items, right? Probably 2 items. Well, the best is 20%. It's 20%. If you go on another creature, I don't know, whatever, the gladiator is still 20%. Or if you go on the rogue, it's still 20%. I mean, pretty much everything is 20%. Well, not really everything. Like Ulbernaut is like from 20 to 40% depending on the piece, right? But yeah, so we expect now. The problem is the 70 randomized, right? But I don't think I can change that. I mean, I don't think I can. I don't think I want to change that, right? Because that's the economy of the war game, right? So yeah, so you get on average 2 items, 2 items, right? This is what you get. 2 items. 2 items, and then you have a 30% chance to get. Fuck, this thing of looting is so annoying. You get a 30% chance that is actually randomized. So yeah, for example, here we got something decent but bad on the other side, but anyway. So we got this one that is that has 2 modifiers, right? So it means that we hit like the 20% randomization, right? I think that you get better loot from expert gladiators because they have many items, and so they randomize more. Other creatures have like probably 2 or 3 items only, and so the percentage is definitely lower. So the percentage is lower. Okay, but my point for today was not to change the percentage. It was just to understand, right, who is understand, right, what is available today of randomized items. And what I know is that I decided that only gloves and boots are actually randomized, and I think I don't, probably pants, but I think I don't have arms, torso. I don't think I have arms and torso randomized today, right? So let me see. Exactly. So you have today, you can get leather arms from the cutthroat, but they are not randomized. Yes, correct. Because the idea was that if you can randomize on 5 locations of armor, right, that would become a bit OP now. Maybe we will introduce it. So the arms are never randomized. The torso is never randomized for what I see. Yeah. Torso is never randomized. Pants are never randomized. Correct. And gloves are randomized in the new procedural dungeon. In 2 different types. No, in 3 different types. No, in 4 different types. Oh my god. Chainmail, spider silk, and leather. And boots also are randomized. I'm watching the other screen, huh? But yes, boots are randomized also in 3 or 4 different. So spider silk, brigandine, and chainmail, and leather. Leather probably. Yes, and leather. And leather. Now, one problem we have today is that the dungeon is not really determining the loot type, but it's the difficulty of the dungeon that is determining. Pants I never found. Yeah, pants are not there. Fans are not there. But then the other question is, for example, the helms, right? The helms, for what I see, the banded mail is randomized. The battle helm is randomized. The Holy helmet is randomized. The horned helmet is randomized. The mercenary helm is randomized. So actually we have a good bunch of helms. I mean, if not all, I would say the majority. I think the ones that probably are not randomized are the very stupid ones, like these ones, right? Are the basic ones, like this hat or this, right? These ones are not randomized. So let's say that they are too small, too simple probably to have strong magical properties, right? And so we don't randomize them, which kind of makes sense. Randomize is only medium and light armor currently. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Heavy is not randomized. Now we can add it, but again, will be kind of an exponential, right? But we can add it. I think in more you know, end game kind of areas we can do that. Then we have armor light. Yes, armor light and armor medium. And we have, yes, the boots, the gloves, randomized, available. And it is in the main dungeon, in the procedural dungeon. Then we have the shields. Jesus, why are there so many shields? But we only randomize 2 shields: the battle shield, and the round shield. These are the only 2 that we randomize, huh? So there is a lot of potential. There is a lot of untapped potential here, right? To randomize more shields. To randomize more shields. Okay, I'm just doing a kind of an overview, okay? I'm not changing anything at the moment. I'm just trying to put into my head what is available and what is not available. The banded helm is tough to get randomized. The banded helm is 20%. There's 20%, but on a set of 4 items, so it's a bit less, maybe, or I don't know. But anyway, it's 20%. It's 20% plus the usual 70, right? So actually, it's like what? What is 70% of 20%? 20 multiplied by 70 divided by 100. So actually it's 14%. So every time you kill a mob that has that banded mail helm, you have a 14% chance to get at least one modifier. At least one modifier. But it can be a negative modifier, right? Because then the problem is that modifiers have their own range. And there are certain modifiers that are super rare, right? So I guess, yeah, that is why you have achievements in the game that are like 0.0001% chance of rarity, right? Because actually it exists. It exists. So there are certain rarities that are super, super, super low. Now, you may say, who cares, right? People will never use them. But I think it's cool that if you get it, you know, it's kind of a unique item that you have in the game. And nearly no one else has it. Is in a chest. The banded is not only in a chest. For what I see, the banded male helm is not only in a chest, it's also in a mob. No, I see it only on a mob actually. Banded male or banded? Yeah, banded male. Is in a mob. But anyway, it's 20%. I think there is more possibility on shields, right? I think we can do a better job with shields, randomizing more shields. There are nice new shields like the Sunshine or the Shadow. These are new shields. But anyway, I think in the future you will anyway be able to enchant these guys. Yeah, I had all that reasoning. Where is it? I did a lot of reasoning on this. Where is that reasoning? Ah, I called it. Well, I think I remember now. Wait. Yeah. Here it is. Equipment overall. I think there was this mission. Yeah, there was this mission where I started to reason on all the possible changes that we can do to our loot, and there is something that I have to get to it one day again. But for this, I really need to have a clean and focused mindset, right? Because there is a big one. There is a very big change, right? So I need few weeks, a month, 2 months. I don't know. I need to really dedicate time to this, and because this was the core of the idea, right? This was the core of the idea, not to destroy crafting, right? Because the more weapon you randomize from loot, and the less people are inclined to do crafting. So the idea was to have the weapon found in monster loot up to 3 modifiers, but having the weapon that you craft being able to be enchanted with gems and glyphs on top of it, and having this, you know, slightly stronger than this. That was the idea. I don't know what is this 71 158. What the hell is that? Is the damage? Yeah, probably is the damage. I will have to get back to this, but yes, and the effects were based on the category, right? Then there was also this idea about affinity. That was the more you use it, the better it becomes, right? There was another idea that I don't know if I really like it, but I think it's kind of cool. If it's not devastating, the change is not. I mean, if the swing is not that much, I think it's reasonable to do. Yes. So let's say that on the shields we have more space for improvement, huh? On the randomization. The war shield? No, you said the banded helm. The war shield is in a chest. You would like more styled shields. Yeah, I think we can do it. I just have to have the right strategy, right? Because unfortunately, again, the game is so big that it's very hard for me to do a change without destroying everything. So it needs to be. So we need to think about it well, right? And problem is always time. In terms of weapons, I see the battle axe being randomized, and I see the small battle axe being randomized. It's a bit of a pity. Like this one is not. Well, this one probably is not even. This one probably is not even lootable today. Yeah, it's not. This one is a new item that I added some time ago, and I think it was given through events. It's like the Stone Hammer Shield, right? The Stone Hammer Shield was given only through events and is not randomizable. It's a very cool shield, by the way. I really, really like it. Really like it. I'm thinking in the background. I'm thinking to a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm thinking to how to connect it to the dungeons. If I want to have specific dungeons, you know, for each, and if yes, there should be probably a boss on each of them, and so we need to increase the number of bosses. But we can do it. I think we can do it. I mean, we have the technology, right? This is only rules pretty much, because we can randomize the dungeon at any time, right, and connect it. So okay, so we have only 2 axes that are randomized today. Then we have broadsword. We only have the broadsword because, yeah, I think it doesn't make sense to randomize this one that already have an adjective, right? So this one is randomized. Then we have the claymore that is randomized. The claymore. Then club, we have a lot. I see club, flanged mace, morning star, war club, war flanged mace. So all of that is randomized. So we have a lot under clubs. I think at the moment the one that is lacking the most is, apart from the armor, are the shields. And maybe this axe. But on the clubs we are randomizing so much. Dagger, we randomize only the dagger. It would be very nice to randomize this. Is this even lootable today? Probably not. No. This guy is not lootable today. I don't even know if you can get it from a quest, probably. And this one also you cannot, right? I think we should add all of this to... So I need to rethink this, because it's cool that I added all these weapons, right? It's nice. So one day I started to add weapons by race. So there is a Diaboli weapon, there is a Klyros weapon, and that was the Stonehammer shield, right? But the problem is that I added them, but then I didn't put them anywhere in the game. So yes, they can be given through events. So I guess that UAJet probably provided these weapons to you guys through events just for fun, you know. But I think we need a bit more than just events, right? Reinforced axe and reinforced battle axe. So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, right? If you ask me how I would do it, I have it very clear in my mind. The problem is that it's too complex, right, to make for me to build, but it will take me like 20 years. But in theory, if you ask me how it should work, it's very, very simple, right? It's super simple. Every I mean, the new paint is nice, but if you could keep the default, it would be so much nicer. It's very simple, right? So you have the war. Fuck. You have the War Smiters guild, right? Guild all, right? And that guild hall is dedicated to mace and hammer, right? So to bludgeoning weapons, right? Bludgeoning weapons in general. Bludgeoning weapons, right? So the easiest, right, would be to have a quest chain, right? Like I'm building, so a quest chain that is bringing you to a dungeon where there is a boss, right? That is dropping. Well, I mean, there is a boss and there are chests, right? And there are chests, let's say, but yeah, both, right? Chest and boss that are dropping randomized whatever thingies, right? Randomized bludgeoning things, so maces and randomized clubs, randomized whatever, right? So that would be the way, so that every guild house, right? Because we have one guild house for every weapon type, right? Pretty much. Well, it's not exactly, but anyway. So we have the keen edge for the blades, right? We have so it would be nice to have a quest chain, complete quest chain for the guild house. A complete dungeon or more than one dungeon for the guild house as well, and there you can have chests and bosses, right? So that so that would be the best way, so that everything has a purpose and is aligned with the factions of the game, right? The problem is that we have 24 factions, and making all the quests for all the factions is a very big task, right? It's a very big task, but this is the way it should work. Now, in the meantime, I don't know why everything is so weird in this. Probably because the image is super small. 100%. Yeah, probably because the image is super small. For whatever reason. Yeah, usually we go this sides. Okay. Another way that we can do it, right, which is in a simpler way, is through the generated dungeon. At the moment, the generated dungeons are pretty much not permanent. I mean, they are because we We always forget to respond, but I asked Uajet if he can sometimes refresh them. I think he's not doing it, unfortunately, but the idea would be that he does. So if we look at the dungeon status, I have a command here that I can use to get the status of the dungeon, right? And I can, okay. I can get a status of the dungeon. And so it is telling me that at the moment there is a cave dungeon, difficulty 5, loot quality 5. There is a dungeon 3. It doesn't tell me where it's connected though. Right? But all these dungeons are not... So there are a few ways we can do this, because I added many new places for dungeons to be connected. So for example, in the desert now, right? If you go to the desert, there are a number of places. There are a significant number of places that we can connect right now, because it's all server side, right? And where we can add, you know, new loot, new chest, new everything, and it's just it's all server side, so I can do it with just a server restart. I don't need to release a new client. And so where is that? Ojaveda Desert, 3 arches, yes, for example, right? Okay, here we are. Wait, I need a compass, otherwise I'm lost. Yeah, this direction, exactly. So if you go in this direction, yeah, roughly in that direction. Oh. If you go roughly in this direction, right? There is a dungeon entrance here that at the moment is not connected, right? But I could connect it. And I have another one here. He's saying the stupid thing. Yeah, he's saying the magic portal seems not active, nothing happens when you walk in. But in theory, if I connect it, right, if I connect this, and I can connect it because this one is a name, and if I name the dungeon, I don't even remember what is the name of this thing. I will have to open the editor to know it, but I think it was called like Desert Cave 1, probably. Desert Cave 1, Desert Cave 2. But I can generate a dungeon and connect it to this. Cannot click it to know its properties, huh? No, I cannot click it. I cannot click it, so the only way would be to open the editor, but we can do it. We can do it. The only point is that I need this map. I think I have it though. But yeah, but the point is create a more places where these dungeon entrances are, right? And you cannot see what's behind, right, by purple. So there is it looks like an entrance, but you cannot. And as soon as you step there, in theory, it teleports you to the dungeon. So We can check. We can check the name and we can connect one now just to see what happens, right? But I think it will work. I didn't test it, but I think it will work. And I think that we have 3 new in the desert. That we could connect, right? But I need a bigger schema. I need a bigger schema. I mean, I can do it a bit random, yes, but if I have a bigger schema, I would be more happy. I think it's somewhere here. It's going super slow. Super slow. I have too much stuff open, yeah. Entrance, yeah, desert entrance, exactly. Desert entrance. Yeah, that is exactly the one that we were looking at in game, right? You see this invisible thing? Yeah, that is the trigger. That is the trigger. And this one is called Desert 2, right? This one is called Desert 2. So if I create a new dungeon, I don't know if it works on the fly, but I think it should. If I create a new dungeon, right, and I call it Desert 2, and I say that this thing has 20 rooms, of which 6 rare rooms, is difficulty 7, loot quality 7, and dungeon type will be caves, and the wall skin is impossible to randomize on the cave because we only have one type, right? And I can also add a riddle on the last door if I want, right? But at the moment, let's not do it. So if I create the dungeon is now created. Let me see what happens if I go through this now. Boom. Instant. Okay, so now we have a new dungeon. Lootable because everything is generated automatically, right? It doesn't show if it's not lootable. That's a bit annoying. I'm invisible at the moment, so they don't attack me. So with creatures and everything, based on the difficulty, so there will be traps. Ouch. There will be traps, there will be lootable boxes, and everything, right? Ouch. So now this one is connected. Now the only point is that at the moment I only have 2 loot tables, right? One loot table for difficulty from 1 to 5, and one loot table. So if I select difficulty 7, like I did, is from 1 to 10, right? Is using the second loot table, right? And there is one secret door, 15 NPCs, 31 traps, and no riddle. And 3 main loots. And 12 rare rooms. Wow. 12 rare rooms. 12 rare rooms is insane. Okay, anyway. So this dungeon is fairly big at the moment. Ouch. Ouch. Doing damage to me. Oh wow, nearly dead. 16 HP left. Yeah, because this dungeon is very hard. Is very hard, yes. Yes. So in the same way, right? In the same way, we could, but I think I need to change the loot tables, right? Because the loot tables at the moment are the same. But I think we can do this, right? I think we can connect all the done. Now the question, because the question is, can we draw a map, right? Maybe not here on stream because then it would be too much of a spoiler, but can we draw a map of our world and say, oh, here there is the desert area, right? Desert area is here, right? So, and there are, well, actually is kind of here. And there are three caves available to create new loot, right? A new loot and new dungeon. So we have 3 entrances. Now the problem is that I really didn't add so many entrances in other places, which is kind of annoying. So I think I added 2 or 3. I think I added only 2 entrances here. I added 2 entrances. Well, plus there is the permanent dungeon, right? So there are 2 entrances plus the permanent dungeon. Yeah, but there are 2 entrances here. The other entrance is in the middle, is here somewhere. Yeah, it's there. Is it? The other entrance is here. So we can connect this one as well if we want, right? And this is Desert 1. And Desert 1, maybe we can make it difficulty 5. So it's randomizing the other group of right. So let me do this. Did I came this way or the other way? No, I came this way. Oh no. Uh-oh, I'm lost already. Oh, I came this way. I came this way. But you see how easy it is now to add a new dungeon? To add a new functional dungeon. Now, if I could have a different set, right? And so we could have 2 different sets for dungeons. But, I mean, we have the technology. The point is that we have the technology. It's just that we are not using it. We are not using the technology that we have. That's the... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Why this happened? Ah, yes, because I didn't configure the return point. No! Yeah, in the dungeon window, there is this return location, and I didn't configure it. No! So it's returning to the plaza by default. Well, we can delete the dungeon and recreate it. It's not a problem. I can dungeon delete Desert 2. Delete. Doesn't exist anymore. Easy. This technology of dungeon generation is very good. It costed me a lot of time to build, but it's very nice. It's very nice. It's very nice. Now, how many places we can? Because I don't think I have other entrances. No. Let me see. Desert entrance. I don't know why I didn't do it, but I had to put entrances everywhere. But I didn't do it. I have to do it next release for sure. Yeah. These entrances are used only in 2 places. Well, we can actually drop entrances though, huh? Ah, yes, now I remember. We can drop entrances if we want. Yes. Yes, I can drop entrances wherever I want. I can even drop an entrance here. Now, I'm not gonna do it because this is the production, but this is the real server. But, you know, we could Now the quality of that entrance is not that good, but if we just fly a second, one day we will fly for real. One day we will fly for real. So for example, right, if you go that direction, there are plenty of places that would be fantastic for for dungeons, right? Any place here, pretty much. Any place, any place, any place, any place. Now, yeah, we already have a number of areas like this one, for example, right? Did you see that they have an entrance made by Purpose? So there are already places that I configured like this, right? You can go all the way around there, and then you enter in this loop, right? And then you go down, 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 and then you reach, you know, whatever, a place where we can put the entrance of a dungeon, right? Because at the moment it's not there, but we can have it. Oh wow, this one is going very deep. Holy moly. Where's this one going? Jeez. Wow. That's a lot of rocks. So for example, right? For example, in this place there is basically nowhere, but it's still Oja Road 1, right? Still Oja Road 1. We could... yeah, there is something I absolutely need to do. And I have to do it now. We could go under structures and select cave entrance. Cave entrance. I can spawn it in my inventory. There it is. And then I can drop here a cave entrance. Boom. At the moment it's not colliding, but I can rotate it. Man, it's not very easy, but... no! It is something I should not have done. Yeah, but like this is already good enough, right? So for example, right? Yeah, exactly. You see that there is the illusion of you can go somewhere, right? In reality, you cannot. But it's done by purpose that it looks like you can go somewhere, right? I don't know why the back, but I think it's okay though. Even if it's like that, I think it's fine. I think it was probably even better before because it looked like it was actually inside a rock somehow. Okay. So now we can make it collision. So I can change this object and say that no one can pick it up. And I can enable collision detection. So basically this object now collides, right? So you step on stuff before it was not. Right? So now we have a cave entrance, right? Like this, that we position here. And now I can do two things. Yes, because yeah, I agree, Marcel. Technology is good. The problem is that I'm not using the technology. Then I can edit this cave entrance, and I can say two very important things. I can associate a script that checks if you can actually enter. So the script can be called check Oja Road 1 dungeon 1, Oja Road 1 dungeon 1, right? Obviously it needs to exist on the database, but I can create it on the fly and just restart the server, it will be there. And this will basically say yes or no if you can enter into the dungeon, right? So we can associate it, for example, to a certain rank or a certain quest or a certain item that you have or whatever. Like you have the amulet, you know, of the ultimate dungeoneering power. And so with that item, you know, you can go, you can enter the dungeon, otherwise not. And then we can have the script on toggle, and the script on toggle should say just go to dungeon and then the name, right? If I remember right, should be go to dungeon. Should be go to dungeon. Where name like dungeon. Yeah, go to dungeon. So if I say that this one is go to dungeon Oja Road D1, Oja Road 1 D1, right? Oja Road 1 D1, and I save it. Now, as soon as I go here, you see that it's saying the magic portal. I mean, unfortunately, the message is designed for the magic portals and not for this cave, so I will have to change the message. But basically, it's already active, right? The portal is already active. It's just that you cannot go because there is no dungeon generated for it. But now I can generate a dungeon, right? I can generate a dungeon here, and I can call it Oja Road 1D1. I just have to remember the return location, so that basically when we exit from the dungeon, we are brought back here, right? So I will have to take my position and say that the return point is 344,061. Yeah, it would be nice a button like take my position. Yeah, would be very nice and also kind of easy to do. But anyway, 788. 1016, okay. And maybe this one is slightly smaller. It's 15 rooms. Rare rooms 4. I don't know. This seems to, now difficulty maybe 4. Loot quality 4. It's still a cave. He has no riddle. And we create it, right? And now the dungeon is created. So now if I go through, boom, I'm teleported, and here I'm in the dungeon, right? And now if I go back, I should be at the exit of the dungeon. Yeah, exactly. You know? And the dungeon has everything. The dungeon has loot, monsters, and stuff, right? So I guess the point is, what I have to do, I have to use this technology, boys. We cannot stay without using this technology. It's completely stupid not using it. Right? It's completely stupid. So what we have to do, so let me create maybe a new mission, but it's quick. It's quick. I mean, we can do it like now, but I think we need like few hours of really. I think we can do it this weekend, in a good way, right? In a good way. Let me create a new mission and we call it. We call it dungeons and loot. Okay. We call it dungeons and loot. Yes. We save it under PS. Imagine the PS directory on my PC, huh? Yes, I have a PS directory. Well, actually I have more than one, but so this will be Unreal Mission, Dungeons and Loot. Dungeon Loot. Okay. So we have to do the following things. We have to, I don't know how many dungeons we can support in total. I don't know if there is a limit, but I don't think there is. But I would say the 10 probably. I would go with maximum 10 maybe. I don't know. So we should decide the locations of the dungeons, right? And those are pretty much fixed. Now we can move them as you have seen, right? So decide the location of the dungeon, or list the locations of existing fixed dungeons, right? And for example, we saw that there are 2 in Oja Desert, right? I don't remember if I have others scattered around, but actually I don't think so. Then we have to decide the location of the temporary, well, it's not temporary, but like the on the fly, created on the fly dungeons, right? And for example, we generated one now in Oja Road 1, right? And we have to decide in what other places we want the dungeons. Obviously we want them in places maybe where there is not a lot of stuff today, so that we don't, you know, it's not exactly where. So like the location that I chosen now, yes, is in Oja Road 1, but is in a very remote place, right? So it's not very easy to find, and which is good and bad. I mean, it's good on one side, it's bad on the other side, but we can give the list to the players, right? Maybe. You see, is where, I mean, if you want, yeah, there is the river there. And yeah, it's definitely not in the populated Oja Road 2 area, right? So it's in the new Oja Road 2 area. And I would say, so we have to decide, you know, all the locations, and we have to list them somewhere. I think I need a dungeon. I think I need a random dungeon. I think I need a random dungeon list. Oh, it's already here. Well, it's already here, but it's not really here. Generated dungeon, right? So at the moment, so for example, there is this magic portal. I think it's there since ever, but does the dungeon status tell me the return location? Yes, it does. Fantastic. Fantastic. So we can check them all just by looking at that. $204, 540. Minus 317. 272, no, 727, and 10170. Is this the one that we just generated, or is another one? Ah, fuck. It is the wrong one. the good one is this one. 344. 344, 061 minus 272, 788, 1016, right? 1016. This is Oja Road 1, Oja Road 1, D1. Oja Road 1, D1. We can check the others, but we can check the others. Minus 343. I have to speak with Wedget and understand how much he's actually managing those. I think 0 or little. I think he may use some of those for events, but I don't think he's changing any of the existing dungeons. Well, I think he should. Like, for example, here there is something that is, yeah, like this one we should delete probably, right? Is yeah. I have to speak with Widget about this. Maybe he's still using this. I don't know. It's a huge house, right? It's a huge house below admin a day, right? I think he used it for an event, which is cool, by the way. I mean, I don't want to delete it. I think we can kind of keep it. I think he spent time building this, which is kind of nice. It's just a giant building made like Lego, right? Because we have the technology to do this. So this has been built with pieces, right? Built with pieces. I don't know where this portal is going. Yeah, that was probably part of an event where he would teleport the people inside of this place, and then they reach this place. And oh no, this is going somewhere else actually. Oh wow. Portal. Yeah, there is a bit of, clean up to do. Instead of just loot quality, a loot script, a named loot table, instead of just loot quality. Yes, no, I understand. Yes, so at the moment, because I did it kind of simple the first time, but now I think we can expand it. So at the moment, the loot table is determined by this difficulty. But I think we can have another field here, which is actually the loot ID, right? The loot table ID. And then now the reasoning was that you don't want to have a super high loot, in a dungeon with 3 rooms and difficulty 1, right? So I understand why I did it, because now it's automatic. At the moment it's automatic. So if you lower the difficulty, you automatically lower the loot table. And this loot quality, I think, is only for the furniture loot, actually, not for the final loot, not for the main loot. So the final loot is connected to this difficulty factor. So in theory, we could use, 7. I mean, today, without doing any changes, right? Without releasing a new client, without writing any line of code, I could have a 6 that goes to a loot table, a 7 that goes to another loot table, an 8, a 9, and a 10. So I could have like 5, different for the high ones, and then I can have 5 for the low ones. So that I can do right now, right? So I can create 10 different loot tables from the simplest to the only problem is that, yes, I cannot have 2 dungeons that are difficulty 7 with different loot tables. At the moment, I cannot do it. I can do it easily, right? So I mean, it's not a lot of code, right? It's very little code actually. It's just that this UI is client side, right? So if I want to change this UI, I have to release a new client, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, but I think the mission is list the location of the existing fixed dungeons. Boom. Decide the location of on-the-fly dungeon, and my suggestion would be to have. Let me think about it. To have one. I have to think about this, right? I have to think where I want the dungeons. I have to think where I want the dungeons, right? Where I want the dungeons. Because today. So today we have areas that are already very populated, right? So here, obviously, all here, here. A bit here, right? So these are areas that are the most populated at the moment, right? There is the whole world, right? The whole world. Now we have a bit here, but only a bit. And we have a bit here, but only a bit. And a bit here, only a bit. And we basically have nothing here, right? Well, there is something down here, but it's still very close to the city. So, well, actually, yeah, not there, here. So, for example, do we want to have a dungeon in Ilon Donari? Yeah, absolutely, yes, right? So, do we want to have a dungeon in Rauren? Yes. Do we want to have a dungeon where Arlott will be? Yes. Do we want to have a dungeon next to Homestead? Yes. Do we want to have a dungeon next to the Emerald Lake, which is actually this one? This is so, yes. Do we want to have a dungeon in some very remote places of Bronze Doors? Probably not, right? Because it's too far to reach. I mean, this area at the moment is a bit of a dead area, and also this area is a bit of a dead area. So I think that probably it's too far to reach for everyone, and I don't know if it's even fun, right, to put it that far. But for example, do we want it in the desert? Yes, we just added 2. So I would say that if I have to make a list, right, and maybe we can start with 5. I mean, we don't have to start with 10, right? So we can have maybe the 2 in Oja Desert, 1 in Oja Road, the one that I just placed. Then we can go 1 for the mountains. Yeah, for example, it would be very nice to have 1 in the mountain. I have a place that I have built for a dungeon, right? Which is next to the observatory, right? Well, it's not exactly here, but it's close to that. It's very close to that. It's very, very close. Well, it is, where the hell is it? Is it this direction? Is it this direction? For sure. Is exactly there. So this location, for example, is perfect for a dungeon. Perfect. I mean, the only problem, I don't know if there is enough space for a cave entrance. I mean, I can scale it, but yeah. I don't know if there is enough space actually. It's below the bridge. But actually I think there is. I think there is. Boom. And here we have cave entrance. Cannot understand where is the entrance actually, but yeah. The entrance is this way. Yeah. Is, well, yeah, the problem is that I think it doesn't fit. I think it's too big. No, it fits. It fits. I think it fits. I think it does. I think it does. Well, there is a bit of a problem of there is a bit of a problem of vertical. Can I push it more at the back or not? I can push it a bit more at the back. Why I selected this hero with the wings, which is so annoying too. Let me see now. Yeah. Now I think that you can fall there and die. And get stuck in that place, unfortunately. I think if you get stuck here, you're probably stuck forever. Well, now no, because he has no collision, but now you may say how the people can find this place. Well, we will put a notice, right? We will put a notice on the board somewhere in the city so that someone will say, oh, we discovered the new cave in such a place, you know, and so this will be go to dungeon. How do we call it? Obs 1. Probably. I think we call it Dungeon Obs 1. And I just need to then decide the return location. Okay, now there is collision. Fuck. I cannot get in. No! Can I mantle on this thing? No, it's not very easy because there are all these plants that there is this fucking tree that is exactly in front of it. So it's very well hidden, let's say. I think we can put a rock here or something so people can step on it. So at the moment it's very hard to go in actually. Maybe I can move it a bit. The problem is that if I move it more to the back, I think that rock will start to be. But yeah, I have to because at the moment you cannot climb it. Why you cannot climb it? It's so strange. It looks like there is a blocking. The collision is stronger than what I was thinking. I think it's just a small glitch. So if I push it a bit more at the back, right? Like this. Ah, this fucking tree. The wrong place. Yeah, now it's 10 times easier. Okay, now it's good, I think. Also, I think that with the fact that I pushed it at the back a lot, you cannot fall anymore inside. And if we want, we could also rotate it a bit. But I think I like it the way it is. But let me see if I rotate it slightly. Oh shit. Ah, because now... Yeah, it's collision, so when it rotates me. Wait, let me remove collision a second. Let me remove collision. Yeah, like this is good. I think like this is good. Yeah, now is way easier to go in. And there is a bit of fuck up here and there, but... Okay. I think now is better. I think now is good. I think now is good. So this is Obs 1. Now this area is definitely simpler than the other, right? So this one I think can be difficulty 5 easily. I think this one can be difficulty 5. But I need I don't know why my feet are going slightly. I need a return location, right? I need a return location that is minus, wow, we are on the other side of the map. Minus 650, minus 353, and 71, minus 5068, right? So these are the coordinates that I need to put in. In my dungeon creation. right? So we need to call it Dungeon OBS 1. You will have maybe 15 rooms, and it will be difficulty 5, loot quality 5, and it will be caves, yes. And the return location will be this. Maybe this one we put the riddle at the end. Let me do 20, 30 centimeters more vertical. Okay. So in theory it's generated. Now we need to re-enable. Oh no, collision is already enabled. Okay. So if I walk in, boom. Here is our dungeon. Uh-oh. Hello? Okay. I just have to then do a run just to understand if the dungeon is actually functional, right? Because sometimes they get stupid, but yeah, it seems to be functional. It's very rare they get stupid, but it's possible. Oh wow, big door there. Big door. Okay, so we do observatory, we do Oja Road, we do. What do we do? We do observatory for sure. Then would be nice to have. I mean, I don't want to have a million, right? But let's start with like 5. Okay, so like 2 in the desert. By the way, the one in the desert I didn't. No, I didn't connect. The one in the desert, we deleted it at the end, huh? So I will have to regenerate it. Dungeon 4, Dungeon 3, Dungeon 1. Cave Dungeon 1. This Cave Dungeon 1. I mean, is this one still there? Since I mean, I created it like as a test, right? And it stayed there the whole time. No one freaking changed it. It's still here, bro. It's still here. I mean, this was a test, boys. This was a freaking test. I think we will remove this dungeon, or anyway, we can connect it to one of the new places, right? So I think that is much better if the dungeon has an entrance then, instead of having. And by the way, this one is still the old way, or is it the new way? No, it's the new way. Oh, this one is not active. Yeah, I have to speak with Uajet. Uajet, are you there? No, huh? I have to speak with Uajet and understand if these are just left over. But I would like to have like fixed dungeons, right? At least 5 dungeons. And I would say good locations are the Oja Road 1 that I just placed. The desert can also be 1. We don't have to have 2, right? So 1 in Oja, 1 in Oja Road, 1 in the desert, one in the mountain, and maybe we can have one after Homestead, or one. Yeah, I really would like to have one in Elon Donari. I really would like to have one in Elon Donari, absolutely. It's not Elon Musk, it's Elon Donari. I really would like to have one here, actually. Really. They are in game now. There is the production server. So they are in game now. This exact moment, if you go there, you will find them. Because there is a technology that we have that I can generate dungeons on the fly. And I can associate everything on the fly. I did it very, very parametric, right? Very dynamic. So I can create everything on the fly. They are in game right now. Until I delete them, I guess, but I'm not planning to delete. So what would be a good place here? Down there, or let me see if there is any place here that is yeah, but we have to do this, guys. I mean, as I'm doing it now, I kind of feel stupid that I didn't do it before, right? But sometimes, you know, you build stuff and then you don't use the stuff to be built. I don't know why. But we use it now. I mean, we used it partially, but we didn't use it. So where could be a good place for a dungeon here that is not too evident, but is also not impossible to find, right? Let me go up a bit more. No, let me go up significantly. Okay. There. I see that this area is not really terraformed, right? So there is a road, right? There is a road that goes close to this, which is nice, but I don't see any place where I configured like a dungeon thingy. Maybe it can be down there on the road. Let me see if this is a good place. Is this a place, or is just it seems to be non-terraformed. There are still a lot of places that I need to terraform properly, add villages, you know. There is still so much that needs to be done in this freaking game. I mean, I think here is doable, but I would say the land is a bit stupid, as you can see it, right? So it's not terraformed with a proper path, right? It's just random hills. But I think that here, down there, right, if you put the entrance here, I think it's kind of visible from the road, and I think, and anyway, we will give hints, right, on where to find it. So if you put it there, I think it's kind of visible. Okay, let's try. And we can move it. Okay. You generate another entrance. Nice. I'm going for the night. I'll check the dungeon tomorrow. Yeah, for sure. Have a good night. Thank you for joining for the stream. They're all different. I mean, they're similar, but they're all different. No dungeon is the same because it's randomized. The entrances at the moment, we only have 2 entrances, but obviously I can create more entrance types so that we need a kind of a flat area, but it's fine. Like this, I think it's fine. Just checking you cannot get stuck in here. Bah, probably. Okay, so I think we can enable collision on this. Okay. We can get the position. And this will be the position of the new... No, this maybe can be a 6. I don't know. Pa pa para pa 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 param. I'll check the dungeon tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Why not tomorrow, Hula? You can check the dungeon whenever he wants. They will be online, so you can check it. I mean, I will not be here tomorrow, but you can still go in game and check the dungeons. For sure. So this will be... There will be dungeon... There will be... Elon Donari D1. Elon Donari D1. We can have one that is very big if you want, but I would say that 15-20 rooms is kind of reasonable. I mean, if you go more than that, it's kind of boring because it's all the same at the end. So... Donari D1. I think we can also do a small news if we... why not? Okay. You know what is the funny thing? If I forget to set it not pick upable, people could pick up this dungeon, put it in their guild house, and then go in. No! Ah. Because I didn't configure it. Go to dungeon. Elon Donari 1. Boom. Oh wow, this one is like this. Okay. Yeah, the return is okay. Okay, so we have one here, one there. I don't know how many I really want, but I think that for now can be okay. Don't remember if it's Donari or Dinari. No, it's Donari probably. So I think we will enable one in the desert and this 3. Now, the current one, I don't understand where is it actually. Where is the current one? Do you, I mean, because that entrance is a bit stupid actually. The current one. Let me just see how much you can get stuck if you fall there. From 1 to 10. Nah. On this thing you cannot mantle for whatever reason. You can jump on it, but... Sorry, I fucked up with the wings of the Klyros model in the last release. The transparency disappeared. Okay, so we have that. We have that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 is a good number. 4 is a good number. Where is the... Cave dungeon, dungeon 3, dungeon 4. So for sure is this one, right? Is this cave dungeon? The point is that we don't know where is the entrance. Where is the entrance to the current dungeon? Let me ask a guy that knows. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, it's definitely this one. The problem also is that it's a very small dungeon, right? So going through, and he has the wrong return location. Oh my god, the names. Why you create names that are so complex? Weird place to be. It's playing hide and seek. Near the rock camp. Near the rogue camp. You mean Camp Banished? Or where? Ah, I see. Okay, it's probably this one. Yeah, but this one is the wrong, you know? It's the wrong return portal. So I don't know who did it, but it's completely stupid. Fuck. Look at this. The dungeon needs to be deleted. And also, I don't know if I want to keep it, actually. I don't know if I want to keep it. Yeah, but that was the location. Yeah, cave dungeon 1. The problem is that you cannot edit a dungeon that is already created. I think I'm gonna delete it. Cave dungeon 1. Also, it's super small, right? It's super small. He has the wrong return location and it's super small. I have to speak with Widget about this a bit to understand what are his plans. Because I think that this place, we are again in Orja Road 1, right? I think we are again in Orja Road 1. Fuck. So, I think I will delete this one. I think I will delete it. I will delete it and we keep the other, which by the way is not very far from here, right? It's not very far from here. If you let me see, it is not very far. Well, it is on the other side. Completely forgot where I put it, by the way. But I think it's kind of here somewhere. I don't know, I completely forgot where I put it. But I have the coordinates, right? We have the coordinates. So there is another dungeon 3, another dungeon 4. Really thirsty. Let me drink some. Nothing better than water. Water is godlike, I would say. I mean, it's not that I don't like wine, but but water is okay. Okay, so we delete this guy. I don't remember where I put the other one. So we delete this guy. Boop. Doesn't exist anymore. So we need to recreate the one in the desert. Do we want to do it in the easier location? Probably yes. Let's do it in the easier location, because I think that yeah, let's do it in the easier location. Also, this dungeon entrance that is here since ever. I mean, why? So this one is near the west gate, right? This tree, bro. Okay, meanwhile, let's do the let's do the whatever. Oh Treasure Road Dungeon OBS Elon Donari D1. Let's do the desert one, right? Let's do the desert one. The desert one, I need to go. Probably here. What the hell is going on here? What the fuck? Is not loading the texture or what? What? It's not loading. It's not loading or it's broken like that? I think it's not loading for whatever reason. I think it's meep mapping whatever. Like if it's in the distance. Oh, that's a little weird. Anyway, here is the dungeon entrance. I think we can use this one. So this one is called, we said, Desert 2. No? No, Desert 1. Desert 1, okay. So the return location will be here. The return location will be 672,672,323 minus 333,492 and 8016, and it's called Desert 1, right? Desert 1, yes. And it's called Desert 1. I think we can do it with, okay, so I think we can create Desert 1, number of rooms 15, rare room 6, difficulty I think we can do 7. Maybe with this one we do 20, who cares? Type dungeon, yes. We do it bluestone. And return locations are these numbers. Okay. Dungeon I have to go soon though, it's midnight, but Desert 1. Petey, no secret doors. I really like secret doors. Why? Why 0 secret doors? No. I will delete it and recreate it. I want at least one secret door. I will recreate it identical. I like secret doors. 0. Again, 0 is randomized by... Fuck. Ah, give me at least one secret door. Please. Ah, secret door 0. Why? It doesn't want to do it. I mean, I deleted again. I mean, anyway, it's just... I don't know if it's the difficulty that is not enough, but I think it's enough. I think it's not... I mean, the more you push the difficulty, I think the more secret rooms there are, but... please. Give me one. One is enough. Oh, one. Okay, one secret door. Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. 2 stairs, 14 rooms, 6 rare rooms. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so now in theory, if I go in here, I will reach it, yes. And if I go, yeah, I choose the blue one. If I go here, I'm back here. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so this works. Okay, fantastic. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, good. I think that's it, guys. Okay, guys, that's all I wanted to do. So I would say thank you for watching, and I will be here Saturday. So I may be here tomorrow evening instead of Saturday, because tomorrow evening my friends are not available, and so I may be here. Okay, I will type it in Discord, but yes, I think tomorrow evening I may be available. And then I will be available probably Saturday, but not at the usual well, yeah, roughly the usual time. Yeah, I don't know, we will see. If not, we will see each other Saturday, okay? But it's possible that I'm here tomorrow evening as well. Okay, with that, thank you for watching, and bye bye. I will see you soon. Meanwhile, if you want to click follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, that would be appreciated. And If you want to download our game, you can download it from Steam or you can download it from our website. Goodbye. Bye bye. Have a good night. Hey, Sulfrots, you arrived now? Sorry, I'm leaving. Bye.